Well, welcome back to Scarlet Hollow, Chapter 5. Today's going to be a short episode. I know I always say this, but I planned this today because it's super hot. And I don't like the heat. Anyways, so we just explored the house. We found out who the secret roommate was, which was Wayne. It was Wayne. What a... Well, not a surprise. Well, it was a surprise, but also... Oh, I thought they would introduce another character. I'm kind of disappointed about this. Is this a ditchling? There's also a ditchling. Damn. Okay. Also, this is slightly blurry. That's weird. Okay, you leave in a haze, mindlessly grabbing clothes and an uncharged phone, barely even noticing your surroundings as you rush outside. The morning's revelation seizing your body and mind alike with a suffocating grip. Yeah, also Wayne was always like, yeah, I've showed you everything. And I was like, you didn't show me shit. I walked through a couple of rooms. I read a couple of diary entries, letters, whatnot. But you didn't show me that. I explored that and I probably could have skipped that. So what did you show me exactly? I'm not quite sure what he did show, what he thought he showed me. People are really vague in this town. And also Kanika might be the cat, might be the witch. Also, I had this idea as I was talking to Tench Frost, who's watching this Let's Play. Also, go to her channel. She's amazing. And we were talking about the witches, you know, and the possibility that Kanika could be the witch. But I also thought maybe both Sybil and Kanika are the witch, because Enoch's letters to the witch had two different names. And yes, you could interpret that as he got more comfortable and more familiar with the witch. You know, they started out as formal letters and then they referred to each other with first name basis. But maybe he just referred to two different witches. Just a thought, just a thought. If you hear weird noises in the background, it's short. It's about 40 minutes before feeding time, so my cats will be unruly and a bit of a, you know, in a dick mood. All right, but let's continue. Oh, now it's not blurry anymore. The cell, the doll, Wayne's insinuation that Tabitha has known about all of this. Yeah, I remember. Man, she's not a good person. The mine as well, right? And even more that she has partaken willingly in your family's crimes. Yes, man. Not only that, but she has designs for you. Does she? I didn't. Okay. Is it true? I'm not quite sure. Did he say that? I can't jump to any conclusions yet. I was shown what someone else wanted me to see. Yes. Oh, what was shown to me? I don't understand this. Nothing was shown. Did I miss this? Did I miss a scene? Was there something that is so weird. But also, if Tabitha can't be trusted, I'm also not sure Wayne can be trusted. Because he might want me to get out of this place. You know? That's true. Everything you found in the Forbidden Wing could have been the work of an unreliable narrator. Not that it saves you from the ever-tightening grip of anxiety strangling your lungs. Why is my own thought saying that's true? Get out of my head, weird T. The events of this morning aren't the sort of thing you can usually move to the back of your mind. You have to do something. The music is very intense. I'm going to the police. Yeah, right. Wayne said I needed to find the witch. I should do that before doing anything else. I need to see Tabitha. Maybe there's an explanation for what I've witnessed. What did I witness? I don't know. Tabitha needs to know about what's been hidden away in her home. I'm going to someone I trust. Yeah, but that would be Kanika, and I don't know if I can trust her. The only way out of this is by finding the rest of the stone carvings alone if I have to. I'm getting the hell out of this place, even if I need to walk. No, I don't want to go to the stone carvings. I'm not ready to make a move. I'm going to the library to get more information. Yeah. You're going there before you do anything else. It's so weirdly worded. I don't like it. That summons my head. You're out of breath by the time you wind up outside the library, panting as you try to compose yourself before entering. Yeah, that's on brand for me. Ah! The dogs? Oh, who is that? The library is somewhat less silent than usual. There are sounds coming from the open doorway of the mayor's office upstairs, the shuffling of paper accompanied by a low muttering. Is this the former mayor that everyone loves? You recognize Oscar by the slightly manic laugh that cuts through the murmuring as uncharacteristic as it is for the librarian. I don't know what you expect me to do about this, Jimmy. I can't exactly talk to the human, can I? And here I thought you were interested in helping the dogs of this town. Or does that only apply to the select few you deem worthy of help? There are much bigger problems around here than whether or not there's a man in your office. Don't you have a house to go back to anyway? What do you need that room for? The office is where I do my important mayoral duties, and it's where the mayoral bed is stored, which happens to be my favorite. So I was upset to find it had been carelessly tossed aside by a madman who's torn a hole in the wall. Oh, that's my wall. He has no right to do that. Jimmy, go home to your human, all right? It's dangerous to be wandering around on your own out here. But I can't be your personal bodyguard. You already got one of those. And that man has every right to do what he wants with that office. This place is for humans, remember? So do what you're supposed to and go on home where you'll be safe. Scraps turns and leaves, his claws clicking across the pavement. I wanted to talk to Scraps. No wonder they elected me. It's like he doesn't even care about what makes a mayor a mayor. Mayor Jimmy wanders off, undoubtedly settling in on an inferior bed elsewhere in the library. Can I talk to Pixel? Gonna sit all over the place and make the whole library stink like dog. People should make Cat the mayor. Do way better job. Less stinky. I mean, cats can also stink, but yeah, the amount of stink a dog can emit is truly spectacular. Go upstairs. Screw this, go find... No, go upstairs. I want to know what's going on here. You climb up the stairs and find Oscar amid a scattered pile of old paper and ancient leather-bound ledgers. Oh, you found a secret. Ooh, the mayor was right. There's a big hole in the wall. God, I love this. This is so funny. This is so fun. Look carelessly. Also a dog. Cuddly toy. Man, okay. Alright, that outfit. The tank top, I don't get it. I'm just gonna say it. I still see this tank top and then the shirt. It's not a look. It's, there are ways to wear this. This is not the way. Okay. Hula, excellent. I was hoping I might see you today. Couldn't sleep at all last night. I kept thinking about the stone and everything it might mean, and whether or not there are more, and how if there are, they might cause further disasters, which of course means it would be advantageous if we managed to find them before they do what they did here. And then Rosalina mumbled something about rooms being wrong in her sleep, and that just made something click for me. Long story short, I decided to start looking through old floor plans for all the buildings in town. At first, I figured the town hall had already shared all its secrets with us, but as you can see, there was still more to be found. I found a discrepancy in what is now the mayor's office between the initial plans and how it stands today. So I started knocking on walls, you know, like in all the movies, and lo and behold, an honest-to-God secret room, some old storage closet that's been sealed away behind the wallpaper for a century, full of old horror secrets, with your family at the center of it all. Of course, god damn it, we're the worst. There are building plans for all these locations around town, the town hall included, where there's clearly been extra work done to bury things in the foundations. All as part of the Scarlet Hollow landmark revitalization project run by Enoch in the period following the Shaw mine collapse. And more than that, I found what I think are models of what was supposed to be buried, and where, like this. Oscar produces a small stone object. Its details are simpler, less refined, but this is unmistakably a model of a stone carving. Though whether or not it's one you've seen already eludes you. This is one of the carvings you described to me the other day, isn't it? I wonder what they're supposed to be. Oh, the music! No! Get away! That's creepy. Was Enoch at the helm of a secret society running Scarlet Hollow back in the day? Is there still a secret society running Scarlet Hollow now? And to add to the mystery, there's this name I've seen repeated throughout these documents, Verena. She seems to be deferred to as an authority, which of course stuck out to me, as there weren't a lot of women involved in government or construction or that sort of thing back then. Consulted Verena requested this change or that. So I went looking for more information on this person, but I wasn't able to find any records of her elsewhere. No birth certificates, death certificates, property purchases, marriage, divorces, nothing at all. Well, no death certificates because she is still alive, but whether she's Kanika or Sybil... Oh, okay. My screen just went out. There's a little loose, wobbly cable. I suppose she may have lived off the grid. There are probably plenty of people who lived and died with no record that they ever were. But I have to admit, it's curious, isn't it? None of this matters. Not after what I found in the estate this morning. No, I want to explain what I've seen. I keep away in secret. I don't care about the stones anymore. I want out of this town. You have a car, right? I actually found something about a Verena in the estate this morning. The mayor wants his office back. I call you a lunatic. For tearing down a wall. Excuse me, glass houses much? We just did that yesterday. Yeah, let's talk about... We found something about Verena as well. You explained to Oscar what you were able to take away from the vials hidden away in Enoch's secret study. Old vials? Fascinating. There's no use denying the existence of magic. This was clearly some type of one-way communication system with a built-in mechanism to destroy itself if it fell into the wrong hands. And there's two names, Verena and Maeve. Exactly. Exactly. I hope it's not a wordplay. I hate that. If it's like an anagram or something. Like, not that obviously Maeve and Verena are not anagrams for each other, but for other names. But no, can't really be. No. It would seem that this Maeve is older than Enoch, and she was who he turned to after a disaster. I assume the collapse of the Shaw mine. Yeah, Sybil. But then she disappears with Verena taking her place, and it would seem that Enoch and Verena had a falling out, with her apparently trying to undermine him. But for what reason, I wonder? That could be Kanika. Miss Maeve. Could Verena have been his pseudonym? Maybe Maeve is the one in the town records and I was looking for the wrong name. Oh, I like my two witches theory. I think that would be such a whoo, you know. You didn't happen to find anything else, did you? Any bit of information right now helps. You recount everything you experienced in the estate. The whole harrowing adventure, culminating in the horrible little cell you found hidden away. And your encounter with Wayne. The whole harrowing adventure, culminating in the horrible little cell. Yeah, but I just found the cell. Nothing happened in the cell. Was there supposed to be something... Did I black out? Did I literally black out while Let's Playing? All these little puzzle pieces have come together and it's showing us a picture of your family, of Enoch, right at the heart of Scarlet Hollow's problems. Yeah, but what happened to Edwardina? I thought she was like the whole, you know, puppet master. Let me explain. The way I see it, these carvings are clearly tied to the incidents that have happened in town this week. There was a stone in the basement of the annex, which, it would seem, was built for the sole purpose of extending the town hall enough to cover the installation site. And of course there was a stone installed in the Shaw mine once it had been dug out. Maybe it's just correlative, but correlation is the only tool we really have at the moment. Assuming I'm right about all of this, there are 3 more locations, which means we have 3 opportunities to preempt something catastrophic. My notes indicate the likely locations are Dr. Kelly's clinic, been there, done that, the church, oh shit, and one of the old farmhouses. I believe it's the Tremaine property. Though of those 3, the farm seems like the most accessible. I assume a practical woman like Dr. Kelly would need some convincing before we could tear down any walls. And we'd probably need heavy machinery for the carving at the church. I don't know how long it would take to get our hands on an excavator. Maybe that's something your cousin would be able to help with. But that would also mean involving her. Oscar, did you listen to me about the estate? I feel like you're barely taking what I told you seriously. There's a lot more going on than just ancient history here. But he's not talking about ancient history. What is this? That's bullshit. He just said he completely takes us our word. Like, I don't understand. Why would we say that? Wayne wanted me to find a witch. This Verena seems to fit the bill. I've already been to the clinic. Bring Oscar up to speed on last night's incident. Well... This game is starting to unravel a little bit, because here's the thing. When I bring Oscar, couldn't I just say I've been to the clinic, I've saw the stone, and just skip the part with Reese? Because I promised his mom I wouldn't tell anyone. I totally will tell someone. I actually wanted to tell Kanika, but now I'm not quite sure. And maybe Kanika is the reason of everything, like for everything. So maybe she caused this whole thing. Because I also wondered, when the name was blood, you know, about who gave Dr. Kelly the medicine. Like, we saw it in the room that Sybil was in, but maybe that wasn't Sybil's plant. You know? Maybe it was Kanika that gave this. Like, I don't know. 5 locations, do we think it's all of them? What do you mean we need heavy machinery for the church? Do you know what to expect at the farm? At least we're on the... It feels like everything always happens right after I show up. I would love to say I've already been to the clinic, I've seen the vision, here's the vision, blah blah blah, that's it, and not share the whole thing about Reese. But you know what? I guess that's what we have to do. Oh my god. If I hadn't waited, if only I'd found all of this sooner, back when the bloodstain first appeared on my daughter's carpet. Imagine what could have been avoided. I can't change the past. All I can do is work even harder to try and make up for lost time. What a shame about the cat. Oh god, why did I do that? That was totally unnecessary. That had nothing to do with the stone, we assume. But it sounds like the doctor knew the best course of action. Maybe when all this is over and we've managed to break whatever curse is holding this town in its grip and go back to the way he was. Yeah, maybe. Oscar pauses, his eyes drifting towards the door. We have to hope it can all get better. I don't know why I would be like, did you listen to me about the estate? What is he supposed to... Like, what is he supposed to say and do there? Yeah, what do you mean with heavy machinery? Well, I guess it's... because of stone? I mean, that's a stupid question, but let's just see. These schematics seem to suggest it won't be accessible from inside the building itself. There's mention of the pastor at the time giving them trouble, so they installed it using a tunnel system to bypass his permission. Well, but then shouldn't you just need to find the entrance instead of heavy machinery? It looks to me like the tunnels are under what the kids call Tetanus Lake, or at least that's what we called it back in my day. Ooh. People have been treating it like a trash heap for decades. It's all rusted cans and broken bottles. If you want to access any of it, we'll need serious equipment. Or Pastor Daniel's permission to tear up the pulpit, which I assume will result in much the same argument the pastor had with Enoch 100 years ago. I want this to be gone. I wish you could just click away, you know, answers you do not want to... Yeah, Wayne wanted me to find a witch. Unfortunately, if there's nothing in the records, there isn't a meaningful avenue to explore with her, no threats to follow. She probably died a long time ago. I don't think so. If she were alive, she'd have to be well over 100 years old. Yes, Oscar. Yes. I suppose a witch could live a long time. Who's to say? But I'm not sure I'm ready to entertain that sort of thinking. I've still got my feet planted too firmly in reality. You know what? Fair enough. 5 locations? Do we think that's all of them? I don't see why we would doubt that. All of this was hidden away untouched. If someone had tried to cover their tracks, I doubt they'd leave anything for us to find in the first place. Do you know what to expect at the farm? It looks to be buried underneath the house in what seems like a root cellar, similar to the one in the annex. As to what to expect, I'm afraid I've no insights there. Something bad, I imagine. Though the men out there are usually heavily armed, so at least you'll have weaponry available this time. What if uncovering them has been the problem all along? Yeah, that's also my worry. But you know what? Remain silent? What happens then? A silence lingers between you and Oscar. Mr. Gutierrez? I think maybe you forgot, but I asked a little while ago if you could help me with Rosalina's medicine. Because I think it's wearing off and she's having a lot of trouble. She's saying some really weird stuff. I mean, she's been saying weird stuff since yesterday, but now it's getting, like, really weird. Like in movies where people do drugs and see spirals and stuff. And I know there's a lot of rules about the medicine, and I don't remember what they are or which ones she's supposed to have every 3 hours or 12 hours, and I really, really don't want to mess up. Sure, I can walk you through it again. The ones with the yellow sticker every 3 hours. Can you just come and do it? The last couple of times I came up to ask, I forgot everything by the time I was down there. And I think she also really needs some food, but all you have is onions, and I don't know what to do with those. Oscar, first of all, write this shit down. Don't tell someone elaborate instructions. That's just... bound for failure. You know, not everyone has like this kind of brain where they hear something once and then they remember it forevermore. Especially with medicine, man. Write that down for her. And then why do you only have onions? Your kid is sick. Oh my god. Look, I'll be done in just a minute, I promise. In the meantime, why don't you call the doctor and see if she can walk you through it? It's not like I'm the expert anyway. It's probably good to double check. Oscar! What the heck? And after we get Rosa sorted, I'll give you some cash to run, so you can run to the gas station for some snacks for you both. Is he parentifying a stranger's kid? That's not cool. You can order pizza for dinner if your parents haven't come to pick you up by then. How's that sound? Okay. Alexis wanders back downstairs. Jesus, I keep losing track of time. Yeah, you're kind of not doing a good job on the dad department right now. Clearly I need to get my head out of the clouds, at least long enough to get some parent time in. Now where was that map? He rifles through his papers, searching. He finds what he's looking for and hands it to you. It's a map of Scarlet Hollow. The best route to Julius Tremaine's farm is down Main Street. Then turn onto the first dirt road and keep going. But the map should help you keep things straight. Good luck out there, Hula. I really hope it's not too bad. But we're working towards something now. I know we can solve this. We just collect as much data as we can. Oscar, you ignoring your kid, you're pushing me away. Do you really think there's anything here that's worth that cost? You keep finding ways to send other people into danger instead of doing it yourself, don't you? That's mean. But if we're in this together, why not come with me? No, that's fine. I'm so glad you're taking this mystery seriously. Man, and just a few replies before, I was like, you don't take me seriously. Jesus Christ, Oscar, don't make Alexis give your daughter her medicine. Do it yourself. Take care of your daughter, Oscar. I'll handle the farms. Yeah, let's be, you know, soft with this. Of course I will. God knows I could use a break anyway. Good luck out there, Hula. It's been a hard week, but I know we'll make it through now that we have a clearer understanding of things. I'll be here when you get back, ideally with a plan to access the church. Nice. The floor plans are all wrong. You leave Oscar to his research and make your way back to Main Street, map in hand. But where could you possibly turn to next? The shop is closed! Isn't it? Wayne told you to find the witch, and he notably didn't tell you to take this to Tabitha. Only, you have no idea where to even begin finding this witch, or for that matter who you assume she's a she, could possibly be. Think harder! There's a blurred place that comes to your mind when you think about this witch. Less of a place and more of a location, but less of a location and more of the idea of a location. A sort of almost location where you feel like you know where it's meant to be, but where you couldn't for the life of you describe it. But you could follow that important feeling. Walk alongside that strange feeling. Yes! Trace the fraying threads of memory, forgotten. You follow that blurry feeling, your attention drawn with a tunnel-like focus to the rhythmic falling of your feet, your surroundings distant and unreadable. You lose sense of time as you go. But then footfall stops and you find yourself on Scarlet Hollow's Main Street in front of an old bricked-up building that you don't recall ever seeing before. And yet, you know that this is the place you meant to go. Hey! It's Miles, one of Scarlet Hollow's resident teenage miscreants. Hula, I have to talk to you. There's something going on, but I can't remember what. It has to do with Sybil and somebody else, and that somebody feels really important. It has to be Kanika who's the witch, because, was it Wayne? Someone said the witch's name is erased, and we saw Sybil in our recap, aka memories. We still can hear her name, so it's Kanika. And I feel like if I don't remember before it's too late, somebody's gonna... Never mind, this was stupid. I just sound crazy. He doesn't sound crazy, though. You feel an odd sensation as he's talking, a creeping recognition. But you can't seem to hold on to it, a slippery thought that refuses to be fully recognized. No, you're not crazy. There's something wrong, and it has to do with your family. Something's so wrong right now, like something's supposed to be here and it just isn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. But you draw a blank on just who Miles' family is supposed to be. I knew it. I knew something was wrong. But I don't know what it is. Nothing happened. I woke up and everything was normal. It's cereal. And then Sybil said she was going somewhere with somebody. No, wait. The person was there too. I talked to them. And then they left. And I went out to the street. Because the office is closed for renovations, so I had to wait outside until it was done. It feels like he's recounting a dream. The memory slipping through his fingers as the words leave his lips, leaving only emotion. This is how I felt when Dad died, but nobody's dead. Please make it stop. Oh, he's grieving the loss of his sister. Because he can't remember her anymore, but he still has the feeling that he lost something. That is so sad. Why did you come to me with this? I don't know. I guess I thought you might know something. Whatever. Have you talked to anyone else about this? No. Everybody else lives here, and I don't need people looking at me funny the rest of my life. I just should have just kept my mouth shut. It's not like you know anything anyway. There's somebody missing, isn't there? Miles tries to hide it, but you see his lower lip tremble, and his eyes are shiny with fresh tears. Oh no! Yeah, I think so. I feel so guilty. I think it's my fault. He can't hide the tremor in his voice as he speaks. There's this crazy old guy on the edge of town. You gotta find him, Julius. He was always coming around to ask me weird questions. I don't remember what he asked or what I said, but I feel like it's important. And he wrote it all down in a notebook. You gotta go get him to show you that notebook. I'd go out there, but I can't think straight. Not right now. I need somebody to fix this for me. I don't want to feel like this anymore. Not again. Please, not again. He shoves a map into your hands. Man, today is map day. And turns away, hiding his face as it cracks with emotion. Aww. I really didn't want to ask anybody for help. That's how bad it is, okay? Don't tell anybody what I said, though. I don't need people thinking I'm crazy. And then he's walking away, though. Where? You can't be sure, if he even has a destination at all. This place seems like a dead end, but you have a new lead to follow, and one that incidentally points you in the same direction as the old map you found in Enoch's study. You can follow it to where it takes you if you want, or you could do something else. We'll follow the yellow brick road, we'll follow the yellow brick road, we'll follow the yellow brick road. Alright. As you make your way along a sunlit dirt road, you feel it. I sang to my cat, but he's totally ignoring me, so I'm like, oh man, that's embarrassing. A tingling at the back of your skull, an urgency, almost like a hand pressing you gently forward, with the threat that it might become more forceful if you don't comply. Like so much crying that can only stop if you tend to it. You pick up the pace. You lose track of time, your attention glued to each step, your mind ceding control to your feet. They know exactly where you need to be. And so the trance goes until it's halted by the unlikely sight of a familiar figure on the path ahead. Good, you found your way. I knew you would eventually. What if every single love interest I have is a hugely problematic monster? I just realized Reese is a love interest, so he's literally a monster. Wayne is a potential love interest. He might be the boy who wants us to basically replace us with him so he can get out and we are stuck. Then Kanika might be the witch. And then Stella probably also has some horrible problem, although, you know, it would be enough for her to just be Stella. Avery, I think, is the only person that does not really have yet a super dark side. So, yeah, weird. Okay. You knew I would come here? It's the loudest today. The town has shifted its attention in accordance, whether or not it realizes as much. He's right, of course. It's not a sound exactly, but there's something calling, begging. And you're particularly susceptible. You're always showing up when I don't need you. I'm in the middle of something. Could you leave me alone? Are you going to come with me? Yeah, I like the company. Unfortunately, I can't. Not this time. Aww. I only wanted to offer some words of encouragement, and I'm afraid that's all I can offer. I would much rather be by your side through this, but the witch is dangerous to me. But not to you. She can't hurt you in any way that matters, especially now that she's at her most vulnerable. What if Wayne is the guy with the blonde hair we saw first in a vision, screaming in pain, and then in one of the pictures, he was closely related to Enoch. And maybe it was like a boon or something, like he was a prize for the witch, or a victim of something Enoch and the witch kind of finagled. Huh. Alright. His words feel far away. They're not sound in your mind. The call of the thing at the farms is louder. It needs you to keep walking. Just be careful of the farmer. He places a guiding hand on your back, urging you forward. And that's all it takes. Your feet are moving almost on their own. You've been set on your course. Oh man, I think romancing Wayne would have been really interesting. The trees part, the woods thinning and giving way to messy patches of scraggly and seasoned garden vegetables seated in between a pair of farmhouses on opposite hills. Although, if Kanika is the witch, man, what an amazing choice, right? Not that the details are important, your destination is the further of the two structures. Is that Reese's mother? Irma, what's going on? I got a page from the sheriff and nobody's here. Where are the cops? I called him on account of Bo went missing, and at last I heard he said he wanted to give Julius a piece of his mind. Oh. Oopsie. First, the sheriff went in alongside the white deputy, the one in the sunglasses. But then something happened, and there was a gunshot, and then this awful howling, one like no creature I've ever heard. That's when that other deputy, the black one, he ran in and the door shut behind him. Nobody's come out since. So everyone's inside. Starting to get concerned. I'm run out of folks to call for help. Wait, is that Hula? What the hell are they doing here? Shenanigans! You're aware that this is a crime scene, right? And the cops are all missing. I'm not aware. Why would I be aware? I'm just stumbling, bumbling my way through this town. The talking is just noise. The words don't matter. There's a humming in your head, almost like a voice, one you can just barely make out. But you know it will be clearer the closer you get to the stone. You start wandering up towards the farmhouse at the top of the hill. Oh, come on. Where do you think you're going? But you continue forward. You will barely even notice your hand slipping over the doorknob. It's gonna be alright, Irma. We'll get Bo out of there, promise. And now you're inside. And this... I'm so sorry, everyone. Oh my god. Oop! I just saw something, but I will cut this out so you don't see it. Because that is... I'm sorry, this... I think it would be meaner to keep it in at the end of this episode than show it at the beginning of next episode. Really, trust me on this. But yeah, I'm sorry, but it's super hot today and I can't play too long. Otherwise, I'll get like dizzy and faint like a Victorian lady in a big house, you know, waiting for, I don't know, some gentleman she wrote 2 letters to and fell severely in love with. Anyways, yeah, oh my god. Like now we're in the truly the murder mystery part where we have to find out who's who. Because there's so much to untangle, you know. I mean, Tabitha, oh my god. I kind of want to talk to her, but also, since I don't have any relation to her. Like, I have a family relation to her, but I don't, like, she never talked. I feel like I've opened up. I don't know. I never said the magic words, I guess. Maybe there's, like, a path I could have taken where we talked more, or... taking more opportunities, but I wanted to spend time with the other characters, so maybe I skipped a few of the things that would have, you know, made her open up and establish more of a connection, because I barely know her, and therefore I'm not really interested in her as much as I am in what the freaking heck happened to Kanika, because that's really annoying. My character doesn't remember her, but I obviously do. The tea didn't work on me, because I never drank it. Coincidentally, this is tea. This is iced tea. But it's a different tea. Oh, is it? Yeah, and I want to know whether Wayne is a baddie, whether Kanika is a baddie, whether Tabitha is like. There's so many. I don't trust anyone. I think Oscar is maybe the only person that I trust, because I feel like there's no way in hell that he could be the cat or anything really, because he seems really befuddled and has no idea what's going on. But maybe no. But yeah, that's the fun part of this chapter, that there's so much going on. Like, so much is kind of heating up, and I do love a good whodunit. Or who is it in this case? Because that is just so fun to theorize and think of. Also, I love to think of what would be the coolest option. I mean, obviously, something's going on with Kanika. And I think Sybil was the false flag, the red herring. But I think she's still involved in it, because she gave us the tea, right? So she has to have some sort of connection to Kanika. Maybe they work together and she's protecting her or whatnot. But it's so interesting. And I think if Kanika is the witch, then it was the best choice to date her or to go the romance route with her. Because then I'm really interested in how that affects the whole story. Although, really, I think it was a 50-50 thing of which flirting scene I would have had first. Because Wayne by now is also very dear to me. I kind of really love him as a character. I mean, because I can literally smell him. If I could, probably wouldn't be drawn to him as much. So I think also he would also be a really, really interesting choice to date. Because I think they are super involved in this whole story. But yeah, I can't wait for next episode. And see what awaits us in the house, in the farmhouse. Probably nothing good, to be quite honest. Every single stone came with something awful, you know, so I'm not expecting something nice. But yeah, question to you. Who at this point, without spoilers, do you trust more? Kanika or Wayne? And do you think Oscar could have anything to do with the sinister going on? Or do you agree with me that he's probably just a very befuddled bystander? And that's my questions to you for the day. So, see you next time. Bye! This is my self-recorded outro song so I don't get hit with copyright claims. If you subscribe to a lot of fun tutorials, reviews, and let's plays.